What's going on? I'm Cyrus, Ausar, and I'm back to say 10 ways to recognize your toxic behavior. It's a lot of toxicity out there inside of us, so I gotta give some breakdowns on how we can recognize it and get it out of us. Number one, do different people say the same thing? Do you notice that everywhere you go, the same people or different people say the exact same things about you? They say that you're a liar. They say you carry drama. They say whatever it may be. But you notice that everywhere you go, a lot of people say the exact same thing. You got to take heed to what they're saying because there's some truth when the same thing is being said by different people in different environments. Number two, do people avoid you or disappear? You may be lonely from losing people. Do people avoid you? You know what? When you're getting ready to go somewhere, have you ever asked who all there? Who all at the party? Who all at the house? You ever asked that question? Well, people ask that too, and it may be you that they're waiting to hear about being there so they won't go. When they find out that you're going, they're like, I'm not even going. When they find out that you at the park, they don't even want to play. When they find out that you involved in anything, they do not want to be involved. And you can see the numbers dwindling every single time you go out, or when you have your birthday party, you sitting back like, okay, don't nobody want to show love for me. You got to feel that way. That's a toxic trait that may be buried inside of you that you're not recognizing. The fact that people do not want to be around you. That is another thing. People will avoid you or disappear. Number three, do you feel like everyone else is the problem? Have you ever felt like no matter what is happening, everybody else is the reason? If I get a bad grade on my test, it's because of the teacher didn't teach me properly. If I went here and this happened, it's because of the mechanic didn't treat my car right. No matter what it is, it's just somebody else's fault. You got to pay attention to that characteristic because it's not everybody's fault every single time. And I got family members like that. I got friends that's like that, where no matter what, it's somebody else's fault, especially when it's something that was just them on their own. They can lose a game of tennis and they're going to say it's somebody else's fault. And you by yourself out there. It doesn't even make any sense. And number four, is your criticism constructive? Are you really giving people the criticism that can help them, or are you giving them the criticism that will hurt them? These things get confused often, but not by the person that receives it. The person that's giving it out confuses it. They be like, I was just looking out for them. And they were like, oh, they called me a hater or whatever it is. They called me this, they called me that, and I was just trying to be nice. No, you was not. Typically, it's a backhanded approach that you took to it. You tried to slight them and act like you was showing them love or act like you was looking out for them. And it happens so often that person don't even realize it. It's just like, you know what, man, them shoes is fire if you would have just changed to so-and-so. Like, I get what you're saying, but you gave an up and a down, and you can actually be more harmful than helpful, and it'll make people want to avoid you when they even have something going on. So be careful to that trait. Number five, do you deal with emotional pain properly, or do you lash out against people? Sometimes somebody can say something to you that can make you upset. Next thing you know, you lashing out at everybody. Then you can even lash out at people that have nothing to do with what happened. I've even seen that in joking sessions where somebody is roasting you, somebody joking on you, and you'll say, oh, what you laughing at? You could point down the street at the person that's laughing because you don't want to deal with the person that's in front of you. Now you make that person feel some type of way. And it can happen in various forms. I'm just presenting one that we can all recognize. Somebody roasting, and what you laughing at? Now you jumping on him, or now you want to fight him. And he ain't do nothing but laugh at the joke that this person said. Your problem should be with the person telling the joke. But this happens when we have that toxic nature within us. We just want to make sure we lash out to everybody, even the people that has something to do with it and the people that do not. But you got to watch that. Number six, are you ever wrong? Do you ever take the fault? You realize that you're constantly arguing, you constantly standing on everything, and you're just never wrong. It's like nobody can talk to you about nothing. And it gets exhausting to a point that people will talk to you about nothing. They will just be like, you know what, I'm not even. If you get a lot of okays, oh, okay, you right. If you get a lot of those, it's a good possibility that you're never wrong. And people don't want to keep going back and forth with you. So they just be like, all right, you got it. You can have it. And then you'll be like, no, we can keep talking. They're like, nah, man, you can have it. I don't feel like keep talking to you about it because you're not even like paying attention to what I'm saying whatsoever, which will bring me to the next one. Number 7, do you compromise for others? Do you ever meet somebody in the middle? Like in number 6, are you ever wrong? Do you meet somebody in the middle once in a while? Do you ever feel like, you know what, I am kind of wrong on that. You know what, okay, I got to give up something to, meet this person somewhere. Do you ever feel like you need to compromise with others? Ever? Because I know some people that's very toxic and they never meet in the middle. It's always on their terms. You can never have one of those situations where we kind of understand each other. No, it's I got to understand you and then that's it. I got to understand you and then that's it. Like that's very toxic because that's going to make sure that people don't want to come around you and open up to you about whatever they're facing. Number 8, do you truly listen to others? Man, this is a hard one to unload. Majority of the time, a lot of people have toxic traits because they're not listening to what is actually being said. They're not even paying attention. As you start to talk, they already formulate in their head what you're about to say. Then they respond to what you're about to say, even though you didn't say it. People will put words in your mouth and then argue the words that they put in your mouth. It's like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? It's really not being crazy. It's just a toxic trait. They want to have an issue. Sometimes you don't even say it, but they act like you do because they actually want an issue. So you got to really watch out for that if that's inside you. When you're not even listening to somebody, you just respond and you're being unreasonable and you're not even trying to understand where they're coming from whatsoever. It's a toxic trait. Number 9, are you always involved in drama? Does it follow you? Does it feel like everywhere you go is always an issue? You can go to McDonald's, they getting your order wrong. Next thing you know, you throwing your drink through the window. It doesn't matter what it is, no matter where you go, there's an issue. You can go to the family reunion, there's an issue. You can go to McDonald's, there's an issue. You can go to Office Max, it's an issue. It doesn't matter where you go, it's always some type of problem. Matter of fact, your drive getting there is a problem. It's like, man, they cut me off, and no matter what, it's just always some toxicity, and you really got to watch out for that. And the last one, number 10, do you have a negative perspective about everything? Man, this one, I can admit I had at one point where no matter what, my outlook was, oh, it ain't gonna work anyways. Well, it don't work like that anyways. It don't work like that for me, it worked like that for you. No matter what is said, I often had a rebuttal of something negative. And I had to overcome that over time, and I had to recognize that within myself because that's a heavy one. Do you have a negative perspective about everything? I can tell you to read a book and it's gonna be, I ain't gonna get nothing out of this book. You should take this class, or for what? It's just blah, 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 blah. You should watch this video. I'm not gonna get nothing out of it. It's like, yo. And if you are that way, people are gonna stay away from you because those toxic traits are heavy and you gotta recognize these things within yourself. So these are the 10 ways you can recognize your toxic behavior. Thank you for taking out the time to watch this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to get a shirt or a hat or any of my books, you can do so in the description box below. Also, continue reaching out to me on Instagram. I love your messages. I love to reply to what y'all say to me and the topics y'all give me. Thank you. I truly appreciate it.